Hey guys, so welcome back. Have I got lipstick on my teeth? Let's just ignore that if I have. But hello, I wanted to do a kind of favorites today. Not necessarily a monthly favorites, but things that I've been using a lot, liking, enjoying, basically my favorite things. So yeah, I thought I would do this kind of a bit more casual than I usually do and take you around all the things in the flat that are my favorites at the moment. So I'm gonna sit down here and just chat to you for a second because there's a few things that are more TV shows and book-wise that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I have nothing to hold up, so we'll sit down here. Shall we start with books? Seeing as I know you guys like it when I talk about books. My reading this year has been absolutely terrible and I feel like I'm not a reader anymore, which is not a good thing. Books for me are something that I get very stuck into, and I do like to read them in one sitting. I feel like that's the best way for me to absorb a story, and that's what I like to do. And I feel so much guilt these days when I do that, even if it's a weekend or a day off. I feel like in this job, it's very hard to kind of step away and completely clear your mind of work, and I'm sure there are a lot of other jobs like that. Sitting down and reading for a couple of hours now is something that I really struggle with. I don't know if anybody else there feels the same. So I've been trying to kind of get into reading in the evenings when I go to bed. Obviously Love Island is on at the moment, which makes things a bit trickier because that's a whole hour of my life every evening consumed with trashy TV, but it's something I'm working on. So I have read this. I think I read this last month, or maybe just at the beginning of this month. I think it was the beginning of this month. So this is Circe by Madeline Miller. I realised I pronounced this wrong the last time I spoke about it. It's not Cirque, it's Circe. I actually started reading this while I was travelling back from Scotland recently, which is another time that I feel less guilty just sort of ripping into a book and sitting there for hours and hours doing nothing but reading. This, I knew from the first couple of pages that I was gonna enjoy. So this is kind of, it's slightly a mythical tale. It's based around the Greek goddess Circe, and it kind of follows her life and her story, but it intertwines other tales that you will have heard and known about and some that you may not have from Greek mythology, and kind of shows you the part she played in it. And it is written as a fictional story, and I just loved the writing. I loved the whole feel of this, the imagery. I am a big fan of Greek mythology and ancient history and things like that anyway. I did classics at college, and yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that. So this to me is kind of like ticking a lot of boxes, but I think even if you weren't that deep into it, you would still enjoy this because it's just a really well written book, and it's quite an enthralling story too. I liked it a lot, and I feel like others will as well. It kind of was just one that I got really deeply buried into, and I just wanted to keep coming back to this world and to this island that she lives on. So that is one of the more recent books that I have read, and I do have a second book I'm going to talk about. I shouldn't really include this in a favourites because I haven't finished it yet, but already I feel like it's very much up my street. So somebody recommended this to me after watching my running video, and it's called Jog On by Bella Mackie, How Running Saved My Life. I feel like this is quite relevant to me. I read the first couple of pages and something really stuck out already, which is when she says that someone stands across from you, looks directly into your eyes and tells you that they're leaving you, that they no longer love you, and that they found somebody else. And you think, oh, so this is the moment I'm going to die. Slightly dark, but still kind of funny to me because I've been there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. It's about a woman who has anxiety and deals with a lot of mental health problems, and then she finds running and it kind of saves everything. So thank you to whoever recommended that to me. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So other things that I've been enjoying entertainment wise, I feel like you guys always ask me for Netflix recommendations, and again, I either just never watch new things because I feel such guilt sitting down and properly tucking into a whole series or something, or I just put Friends back on repeat again because I'm a creature of habit and I can't stop myself, and it's the perfect background telly. So I don't have a lot of recommendations, but there are two things that I think you guys do need to watch. Number one, and I think this has been talked about a bunch, is Fleabag. It's on iPlayer, that's where I watched it on demand, and I think it's also on Amazon, but it's basically written, starring, everything by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I think is so amazing. She is ultimate, just everything goals to me. She's hilarious and she's incredibly smart and intelligent, and Fleabag is just so funny. It's funny, but it's real, and I've been laughing at one point and then bawling and then laughing again in the space of a minute. Her writing is so good and the storyline is relatable, but also just so fun to watch. I started watching it and then I was on it again. I watched it twice. And the second time around, Joe got really into it too, and he liked it a lot. So I think it really is for everyone and everyone can kind of relate, but I just 100% recommend you guys watch that. I think it's the best thing I've seen for a really, really long time. Also, I've been watching season 2 of Riviera, which has just come out on demand, and I've been kind of pacing myself with it, and I've only been watching 1 or 2 episodes a week because it is so good. And I feel like when something is so available to watch, I almost don't want to binge it because I want to make it last longer. So we rewatched the first season, which is so good too, and yeah, we're on the second season now, which is very exciting. It's set in the French Riviera. It's very glamorous and beautiful. It's like a mystery murder story, and Julia Stiles, ever since Save the Last Dance, I've just always had a soft spot for her, so that's a great one too. I'm very excited about the new season of Big Little Lies as well, which I don't think has completely come out yet, but it's doing it gradually, which is good. Again, I want to watch like 1 episode of that a week and really enjoy it. I loved the first season of that, so I'm very much looking forward to the second. Same with Killing Eve, which is actually another Phoebe Waller-Bridge production. She wrote it and created it. I will have to save that one to watch with Joe though, because we did watch the first season together. And then I actually have a podcast recommendation for you guys. What is this? I am not a podcast girl. I've tried quite a few times to get into them. I've listened here and there, but I am quite a visual person. I like to watch things or have things in front of me like a book, so I find podcasts kind of difficult. But there is one that I have listened to all the way through now, and I kind of want more, and it is from 2 of my favourite girls on here, Lizzie and Lindsay from Shop from the Street and Ropes of Holland, and it's called Things You Can't Ask Your Mum. It's your mum, but I don't have the accent to pull that off. Such a good series, and each episode they go through talking about different kind of topics. So they talk about life and dating, confidence, personal image, sex, grief, all different things that are so relatable to me and to many people as a modern woman or a millennial in general, and it's just such an enjoyable thing to listen to because they're so real on it, they're so themselves, and it's kind of just an extension of watching all their other platforms, their YouTubes and their Instagram and things like that, but very interesting and very insightful too. I started listening to it while I was walking the dog, so I'd kind of go through an episode a day or every other day, and it was really nice to digest that information while you're outside and you're walking. It's sunny and nice, and you can just let your mind sort of wander while you're doing quite a mindless task. I think cleaning and cooking are great places to listen to podcasts as well. But yes, that is my first fully complete podcast. Can't wait for season 2. If you guys have any other recommendations of similar things, if you have listened to it, I just like to listen to people chat about things I can relate to. So let's talk about some fashion favorites next, and I've got a couple of things I want to sort of mention. So this is the Loewe Basket Bag. It's in a size small, and it's actually been on my list for a really long time. It's something that I've wanted to own and thought would be a perfect addition to my other bags for a while, and I was very lucky to be sent it. Definitely had a bit of a pinch me moment when I opened up the bag that this was inside, but I've been using it now for a couple of weeks and I have definitely really enjoyed it. The straps are sort of interchangeable, so you can either have them going across the front and back of the bag, or you can swap them and have them going from the front to the back, which I think is nice to have. It depends what you're carrying and how you're carrying it. It's also incredibly spacious. I do enjoy how practical basket bags are. I don't think you can get something better if you're going to a farmer's market, if you're out shopping, if you're just doing something that involves carrying a lot of things, which is generally my day-to-day life. I just love the way it looks. I'm not usually a massive fan of the big branded logos on bags or clothes or accessories. To me, I feel like they're a little bit tacky sometimes, but this is just so subtle. I love the way it's embossed into this brown leather, and the tan on the basket works as well so nicely. So yes, I could not be more thrilled with this little thing. Absolutely my most grabbed and my most used bag of the moment, and probably of the rest of the summer. I've also been very into these jeans. These are new to me, this style of jean, and they're from Weekday. They're called the Row jean, and they are quite different to what I'm used to. So these are a straight leg jean with no taper, so they go straight all the way down, and they're a little bit bigger, they're a bit baggier than I'm used to. I do love the Topshop straight leg jeans, which are slightly more fitting. So to begin with, this extra kind of material here at the bottom was a bit weird, but I just love them. I think they're so casual, but also just the perfect fit of jean. They seem to go with everything, and the length is great too. Normally I'd have my jeans either a little bit shorter than this or a bit longer, but they're kind of just that nice awkward ankle height that I enjoy a lot. So I have these in the white. I think this is actually an off-white color. Also, I do have them in this blue. Now I've just washed these, so they're a little bit creased. I need to take the steamer to them. These are just so incredibly comfortable. I can't explain. I feel like I've had these a bit longer than the white ones, and I've worn them in quite nicely, but they are such a nice jean. They're just easy and loose, and they make me want to style up very kind of casual outfits with them, like this oversized shirt. I think that looks kind of cool, just loosely tucked with them. And these shoes as well, which coincidentally are another one of my favorite things at the moment. These Vince sandals, which are kind of like the designer versions of Tevas, which everybody is wearing at the moment. I just love this style of sandal. It's very love or hate, and they are chunky, but I just think they're so flattering. They are so comfortable, so incredibly comfortable to wear, and I love them. I love them with jeans, with skirts, dresses. They just sort of seem to go with everything. So they're flat, they're Velcro, they're awesome. So I've been wearing a lot of the same jewelry a lot this month. You probably would have seen it in my vlogs and my videos, but I wanted to go through it because I really have just been wearing the same things over and over again. So they're definitely my favorite things right now. So my necklaces are these three here. This is kind of my dream stack, and it's one that I've been wearing a bunch. So this one here is the one I get the most questions on, and it's actually a vintage St. Christopher pendant, which used to belong to my granddad, or my great granddad, I think. It's got some initials and a name engraved into the back of it, which I think is very cool. It's nice to wear something that is maybe a little bit more unique and also kind of related to my family, so I just always stick that on. And then these two, this one here, this diamond shaped kite, which actually has a tiny little stone in the middle. This is from Carrie Elizabeth. I've had this one for a while and I always end up pulling it out because I think it is so gorgeous. I love the shape of it. It's got some kind of engraving in there too, just amazing. And then this one is actually quite new to me. This is from House of Freedom, which is Topshop's sterling silver and gold plated range. So it's a little bit more expensive, but the quality is amazing and so much better. This is another really like vintage looking diamond shape, and I just really like it. I like how it goes horizontally too. So that's my necklaces, and then rings have been very similar a month. We've got this one here, which is one of my favorites. It's I think it's the Rising Star ring, and it's from Daisy Jewellery and their collaboration with Estée. So probably one of the best collabs I've ever seen. Every single piece from that range is gorgeous. And then I have these two here on my ring finger. These are both from ASOS. The top one with this chunky gold band and the little diamond is ASOS own. And then this one here is another brand on ASOS that I can never remember the name of, but it has these amazing little multicolored stones in it. And then this Pinkie ring here, which is like a signet ring. This is also from ASOS. And then here I have probably another absolute favorite, this on my ring finger, which a lot of people have commented on and told me not to wear a ring on my left hand on my ring finger because it's bad luck. And all I have to say to that is no, I don't care if somebody else puts a ring on there or not. I'm gonna wear one when I want to. So this is from another Daisy Jewellery collection. It's from their newest collection, which is called the Isla, and it's hard to see, but it's printed and embossed with tiny little seashells, so it kind of looks like fossils almost, which I love. It's called the fossil ring, which makes a lot of sense, and it's such a chunky gold band. I think it's a really cool size. I'm really into this one. I like the quite chunky gold rings at the moment, so that is an absolute favorite. And then this last one here, which is on my finger, my pointer finger, is another one which used to belong to, I think, probably my great grandma, and it's just a little gold band with some stones all the way around it. I think it's very kind of vintage again and cool, a little bit Art Deco inspired, and I love Art Deco jewellery. So that's necklaces and rings, and then last of all we have earrings. And again, I've been wearing the same earrings over and over. These chunky little hoops, which I really like. I'm used to wearing quite big hoops, so these are different for me, but I just love the style of them. They're slightly tapered out towards the bottom, and these are from Topshop. I have a little stud. I've been quite into just really small gold studs right now. This one is from Another Stories, but I'd really like to get maybe a Marie Tash one or something that's a bit more long wearing that I can sort of wear in the shower. And then this is quite cool. It's like a half hoop. It's almost like a half huggy, so it just has a normal bar at the back and a clip, which I personally find so much easier to wear than huggies. I find I struggle a lot when I try to get them in. So these are ideal, and it looks like a little hoop. It's actually got tiny little hearts all around it. I don't know if you can see that. And I have that on the other side here as well. For some reason this side is so much harder to film, but I have the same Topshop hoop, and then I only have 2 holes in this ear, so I just have the little half huggy there as well. And then up here is a ear cuff. I don't have this piercing, although I think it would be really cool to have. This is just like a clip-on, and this is from Astley Clarke. It's like a little beaded ear cuff, which I like a lot. So that is all the jewellery that I've been wearing most of the month. So I'm not going to talk to you guys too much about makeup because I feel like I've pretty much covered that over the course of this month. I've done a few makeup videos, and like every day most used pics are in those, so if you guys are interested, go and check that out. But I do want to talk about skincare, and this has been my favorite skincare product. You can see from the last time I mentioned this, I've gone through so much of it. I've used this morning and night. I've double cleansed with it. It's pretty much the only cleanser that I have used, bar one occasion that I think I reached for my Oscar because I just fancied it. So this is the Pie Lightwork Rosehip Cleansing Oil. It's just such a joy to use this. It's really beautiful. It smells incredible. It massages into the skin so easily. It kind of glides across. And I've actually been doing, when I cleanse my skin, some Gua Sha, I think it's actually called, which is kind of a similar concept to jade rolling, but I feel like this is just so much more effective, and it does a lot more for your skin. So these two together are just amazing. I found a really good tutorial on YouTube from Lalonde on how to use this properly, and I've been doing that kind of twice a day, and I feel like it's doing amazing things. Big love for this cleanser. The smell of it is just so good, and it takes makeup off incredibly well. It does a really good job of breaking everything down. I also feel like I'm using this a lot, which is my body lotion at the moment. It's from Sachajuan. It's the ginger flower body lotion, and the best thing about this is that it comes in a pump. All body lotions should be made to come in a pump because I use this every single day. So every time I shower or take a bath, I always make sure I moisturize my entire body, which is a little bit of a chore, but it helps in the long run, and I don't feel so dry and uncomfortable, and it makes my skin incredibly smooth. This combined with body brushing, which I don't have here right now, but a body brush is something I've been using every single day right before I get in the shower, and those two together just make my skin so soft. 10 out of 10 for convenience. And it's also just a really nice body lotion. I do prefer lotions over creams because they're so much easier to just quickly get onto your skin, and this one smells like a sophisticated version of ginger. It's not super gingery, but it has like a floral oriental vibe to it, and I think it is so beautiful. So yeah, that's been one of my most used things this month. Also, this isn't really skincare, but I have to give a lot of love to this. This is Byredo Sundazed. I feel like this is very new to the brand. I think it's their newest release, and I was in Space NK one day, I saw it, decided to sort of spray it and just give it a sniff and see how it wore, and I remember thinking, oh, it's quite nice, I'll see how this goes throughout the day. And I left Space NK, I crossed the street, and then I had to go back because it just smelled so good. It smells like sun and holidays and sitting on the beach and the sea air and sun cream, but also kind of incredibly fruity, like fresh oranges and mango and all sorts of tropical fruit that you associate with eating on a warm sunny day on a beach holiday. And I just absolutely love it. I've worn it every single day since I've got it, and I feel like I'm already starting to associate it with summer. If we were having a summer, that would be nice, but it's something that I put on and it already feels quite nostalgic to me. I don't know if that's because it has certain notes and certain elements to it that I'm familiar with and that I do associate already with holidays and good times, but it is incredibly beautiful. And Byredo perfumes are not the cheapest at all. This one I think is around £100 for the 50ml. They last in a way that other perfumes don't on your skin. They really just sort of sit and blend and morph to your own kind of scent, and I think those are the best kinds of perfumes. So yes, Byredo Sundazed, I just have absolutely loved. Cannot get enough of it. Just go and smell it if you can. If you have a Space NK nearby you, or a Byredo counter that stocks this, it is amazing. And those are all my favourite things right now. I'm sorry about the building work. Where is that coming from? So incredibly loud. But yes, those are my favourite things. Let me know what you thought of this more casual vloggy style favourite things. I quite like just going around and picking out things that I want to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed filming it. Everything that I talked about will be linked down below today, as well as this makeup actually. I've just realised I'm wearing different lipstick because I have finally branched out and picked something that isn't my normal NYX London. This is actually from Revlon, for those of you wondering, so I will write the shade name down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. That is it for me today, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.